everyone, and welcome to Bourbon Bites. My name is Clifton, and today I'm doing another really fun live stream. Just like last week, this one is brought to you by our friends over at Bevridge, who put together these really cool premium tasting boxes. They sent them over for me to review. Last week, we did World Whiskies, where we reviewed whiskeys from all over the world, obviously, right? But today we are doing American single malts, which I'm really excited about because it's a category that I don't have too much experience with. I've done a little bit of them on the channel, but mostly, I mean, if you guys have been watching for a while, I'm mostly a bourbon and rye kind of guy. I have been experimenting with other world whiskeys like Scotches and Irish, and have become pretty familiar with those. But when it comes to American single malts, I feel pretty clueless. So that's why I'm really excited about like this tasting box. I totally would consider like looking into it myself, like if they hadn't reached out to me as well. This one actually comes with 10 samples. So you get to try 10 different American single malts. Now, some of these are from the same distillery. You get to try a couple expressions from the distillery, but others are all across the board different. So tonight we're just trying the first 5 because y'all don't want to see me do 10 whiskeys in one night in an hour. That could get a bit crazy. At least, I mean, you probably do want to see it. Let's be real. Hit the thumbs up if you want to see Cliffy go hard. But I figured it'd be nice to divide this up between 2 streams because I want to learn a bit more about each of these. Now, the cool thing about these tasting sets is they come with video compliments, video companion guides or video companions. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So each of these whiskeys, you can actually go to their YouTube channel or their website and watch a interview, a distillery tour, lots of fun clips. I actually have a couple of those like just trimmed down a bit just for tonight's stream. Of course, you can go watch the full length versions later, but I think it'd be kind of fun to kind of introduce the distilleries as we go along, kind of like you're doing the tasting journey along with us. So like last week, I'm also going to be giving away one of these sample sets, which by the way, retail on this is $199. So $199 value. These are really cool. So I opened it last time, but I'll show you. Like this outer layer has some really cool info and artwork on this. You can actually open it up and make a poster out of it. But not just that. Let's talk about the whiskey, right? I don't want to spill these everywhere. So give me a second to not break anything. But it comes with this really cool box. Here we go. There we go. Okay, this is a massive. Okay. So, I don't know how to show you guys this. Here, let me just show you this. This might give you a better idea of what's in the box. So you get a guide right here that shows you all 10 of the whiskeys you'll be trying. See if it'll focus there. So we're just doing these 5 today, which I'll tell you a little bit more about each of them as we go through. There's also these 5 in there as well. And I had someone ask me, is this a subscription or is it like a one-time thing? As of right now, they are just a one-time purchase. So it's not like you're signing up for a subscription. You could just either buying this for yourself or as a gift for the whiskey lover in your life. As you see in the title, I feel like this would be such a fun gift for someone that you know is really curious about getting into whiskey. Not the beginners. Like the beginners, you can just get them a couple mini bottles at the store. These are some really cool whiskeys that I'm really, really excited to try. So I would say for the intermediate or, someone that's a bit more passionate about whiskey, this is a really cool idea. I know I would be very, very excited to get this. So we're going to go through all 5 of these whiskeys. But first, let me know what you guys are drinking in the chat. I see quite a few regulars here. By the way, with the giveaway, so what I'm going to do is actually combine the super chats from tonight with the super chats from next week. So every $5 super chat gets you an entry on the wheel of whiskey. Y'all know the drill, how it goes here. But instead of spinning it tonight, I just have one of these to give away. So any super chat tonight counts towards the giveaway at the end of next week's stream, where I'll be drinking the last 5 of these. Make sure I have your contact info if you're not able to make that stream. I still want to give it away. It's not like you have to be there, but I need you guys to send me your contact info if I don't have it already, just in case you win so I can get these prizes over to you when we do the giveaway next week. But hopefully you can tune in. It's the same time next Thursday night, December 8th. Wow, the year is flying by. So yeah, I'll be doing it there, part 2 over on the YouTubes where I'm at right now. So make sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell button, and make sure to hit all notifications if you want to make sure you're reminded to come back to see if you win this really cool tasting set. I know I would definitely want to come back and make sure I won. But like I said, if you're not there, no pressure to be on live if you can't make it next week. But just so y'all know. But anyways, let's say some hellos to some folks here in the chat. Brandon's here saying, evening, everyone. Drinks and chill. I don't recognize the username. Are you someone that I'm used to seeing your real name and this is a new channel? If so, hi and welcome and tell me about your channel. Zophir's here in the chat as well. Hello, Zophir. Good to see you, man. I got to hang out with Zophir over Thanksgiving weekend in San Diego. So much fun. Actually, hand delivered. He actually won last week's giveaway, the tasting set from last week. The what was it? World Whiskey one. I literally hand delivered that sample set to him. So, man, I hope you're enjoying those, or at least you're saving them for a good tasting. Almost had to make sure I didn't spill any whiskey. We're all good. But yeah, hopefully you're gonna enjoy those sometime soon. Donnie's in the chat. He says, mash that thumbs up, click subscribe, and ring that bell, and choose all. Oh, that's okay. I should have featured your comment because that's literally what I just said. But thank you so much, Donnie. You could beat me to the punch there. Adam Free is in the house, also here from Tennessee. Just Tennessee guys back to back. 10 whiskey sounds fun. Oh, it does, but not for on camera. That's for the after party. These guys know from patrons get an after party hangout where we get Cliffy comes out pretty much every time. Cliffy's my drunk name. Just that I want to make sure it's clear that was not a sexual innuendo of any means. Although something, no, I was kidding. Cheech Artolino is in the house. What's up, y'all? Make sure to go follow Cheech's YouTube channel as well. Good to see you, Cheech. Hope you're doing well. He's like one of the resident mods here. He's on everyone's channel. Speaking of mods, I see Emily Chambers in the house as well. Good to see you, Emily. I saw you over in Perry's chat. We were chatting a bit earlier, so good to see you again. James Taylor is here. James Taylor is a Bite Club member, which is my YouTube membership. For $2 a month, you get access to some really fun emojis, and it does support the channel there as well. So cheers, James. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Tony, oh, it's like an inside joke, but not really, because it literally just happened like an hour and a half ago. Tony made a typo, typed meat instead of neat, but you know what? A meat pour might be just what I need. That also sounds wrong. Let's keep it going. Fred's in the house. What's up, Fred? Good to see you. Don Nishida from Hawaii. A giveaway, you say? That could be interesting. Yeah, it would be interesting if you won, Could be interesting. So by the way, Don actually recently, there was like a electrical fire nearby. Now, don't worry, it's not a gas station on fire like a few weeks back. This is an electrical fire. But I didn't see any flames, so I think we're okay. But lots of sirens going off around me. Donna, she actually sent a blind flight of rye whiskeys. I've been in touch with Perry from This Is My Bourbon podcast and Eric over there, as well as It's Bourbon Night. We're trying to coordinate to do a night where we can all do that together. Hopefully we can do it soon, but Don, we will keep you updated. I'm really looking forward to the whiskeys you've sent over. Bourbon Noob in the house. What's up, Patrick? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope Heather is there as well. I mean, not that I expect that she's watching, but I'd love if she's watching too. Gotta be a whole family event, right? I mean, not that it's family friendly, but y'all know what's up. Let's see. Zover says, "Let's go again." You know what? You could win. You could win again. I don't limit anyone. And then, like I said, if you guys happen to super chat tonight, and then you super chat next week, you get double the entries. Y'all know every $5, no matter what, gets you in. So, yeah, feel free to enter both nights, one night, up to you. Or if you want to see how these whiskeys are, wait till after tonight, and then next week be like, oh yeah, I want to get on that. Then you can enter then as well. But I do the Wheel of Whiskey to get back to you guys because y'all are so supportive across the board, whether it's Patreon, super chats, YouTube memberships. I love y'all all. So I'm still in the Thanksgiving mindset. I'm all thankful. James Taylor's also in for the win. So thank you so much, James. Thank you for entering the giveaway. Brandon in Delaware is here. What's up, Brandon? He and I were chatting on Instagram a bit earlier, asking a few questions about these beverage boxes. By the way, if y'all are curious about the sets, I put a link down in the description that gives you the info about all of these, with pricing, shipping, all that info. There is a promo code down there, 10% off if you use code Bourbon Bites. Now, this is only for the first 50 people. I don't think 50 people have bought it yet. So if tonight makes you curious, this is for either set, whether it's the World Whiskey set or the American Single Malt set. Take 10% off your order for the first 50 people using code Bourbon Bites. So put it down there. So if y'all are curious, it does help support me. If you guys do consider to buy it, using my promo code does show them that I'm sharing the love of it. So I appreciate y'all checking it out. At least, especially if you're thinking either for yourself or a gift for a whiskey loving friend. It's a really cool box. Tony says, this gives me a great excuse to drink some of my single malt the chat skipped. 3 Floyd's Bubblegum Head and Westland are my favorite. 3 Floyd's Bubblegum Head. Is that a pick? I have no idea what that means. Sounds fun, but I have no idea what that means. I love meat. Me too. Let's just make sure I got everyone here. All right. So yeah, let's give a little bit. I have a little intro video for this tasting set. But then, of course, I broke down different parts from each of these different distilleries. So let's take a look at the intro, though, so you guys can get familiar with this American Single Malt tasting kit by Bevridge, which is also by Whiskey Live, which is they put together some really fun in-person events. But check out this intro to Bevridge American Single Malts.
When people hear single malt, they don't normally think of America. But America is also the land of innovation and adaptation. I'm Nate Ganna, co-founder of Bevridge, and I'm here to introduce you to the up-and-coming category of American single malt whiskey. In this tasting experience, you'll meet and drink with the flag bearers who are shaping American single malt and championing its recognition as a distinct subset of whiskey. We've partnered with 6 distilleries from around the country to bring you 10 examples of American single malt, each a unique expression that honors tradition and celebrates innovation, highlighting the specific terroir and culture of where it's made.
All right, so that's like I said, is part of the video series. With each of these, you have like a whole playlist that you can go through and drink along with them. I trimmed them down for time for tonight, but yeah, so that's a little overview of the kit. Like I said, you get 10 whiskeys, just 5 tonight, 5 next week. But yeah, American single malt. What are y'all's thoughts on American single malt? For me, like I said, don't have much experience with it. Do you guys love it? Do you sometimes enjoy it, or are you just not a fan? I'm really curious to hear the group's consensus on that. I know we do have some fans. I think Pat Bourbonu, I think you're a big American single malt fan. At least you were the ones coming out of Washington. But I'm curious about the rest of you guys. I think Brandon as well. You like a few of them, right? Or no? Maybe you're more okay. You're more crafty. I don't know. Y'all tell me. I'll stop guessing what you guys like. Let me know what you guys like, and also let me know what you're drinking tonight. Chris is drinking Turkey 17 Ball and Bond. Oh, jealous. That sounds delicious. I didn't have that one. Or no, did I have that one? Yeah, I have that one. I don't know how much I have left of it, but I did have a bottle. That's a wonderful pour, Chris. Thank you for tuning in tonight and making me a little jealous there. I gotta go get that bottle maybe for the after party. Brandon says the Balcones and the Westland in that kit are fantastic. I'm excited. So the World Whiskey kit that I did last week had a different Balcones. It was Balcones Lineage. This is Balcones 1. So I'm curious to see how those two compare. I know I wasn't the biggest fan of Lineage, but this one I've heard some really good things about. So I'm really excited to get into this one. Clifford is drinking E.H. Taylor barrel proof and then something lower proof. What the heck are you guys celebrating tonight? It's December 1st. Are y'all kicking off your advent calendar with like heavy hitters? Because I mean, dang, I want to celebrate too. y'all like impressing me over here. Drinks and Chill says they've had a few American single malts from Texas like Balcones and Andalusia. Have not had anything from Andalusia yet. I keep hearing so many great things. Next time I'm in the Austin area, I've got to go visit them. Yeah, when I was out there, when was that last year? No, 2 years back. We didn't have time to go out there, but 100% going to go there next time I'm in the area. Chris says American single malt can be good, but we don't have that age that other countries have. Balcones picks are amazing and love that they experiment. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that distillery, so I can't wait to see what they've done with this whiskey. They're great in that the distillers aren't afraid to experiment. I love how unique they are. Same kind of thing that Chris was saying there. Yeah, I think so too. I think it's really fun. Now, I'm always iffy about malt whiskey. I think to me, if it's young and grainy, I don't typically love it. But if it has some unique finishing or has some unique element, maybe like a specific malt like that they're using or barley that they're using for the malt, gets me really excited. So I'm excited. I think a few of these have that happening. So I'm excited. Nimrax is here. Sorry I'm late. No worries. They haven't drank any whiskey yet. You haven't missed much. Three Floyds is a brewery in Indiana. Check out the review on Rock Gut Review. Will do. Speaking of Rock Gut Review, check out his channel first of all. But also, make sure to tune in on Monday nights because we play a game of Dungeons and Dragons, which we call Dungeons and Drams. So it's a bunch of your favorite whiskey tubers, including myself, Ed from the Rock Gut Review, Bill from the Whiskey Dick is our Dungeon Master, Jason from the Mash and Drum is another player, Adriana from Whiskey Mountains, and our friend Molly from Hugging the Cactus. We all get together. We play such a fun game. We get drunk and we play Dungeons and Dragons. Check it out, Dungeons and Drams on YouTube. There's also a podcast. Also on Twitch. You guys can find it everywhere. But yeah, even if you're not nerdy, I wasn't that level of nerd until now. Now I totally am. Totally like in that culture now. But before I wasn't. So really fun time with just hanging out with some of your favorite whiskey tubers. Definitely check it out. Sipping on some Tamdu 19-year-old. Wow. AM Alexander Murray, right? Okay. That's awesome. Tamdu is one of those that I hear all the time, but I don't remember if I've had it. Definitely not a 19-year-old for sure, but I've heard good things. Donnie is about to have a sample of that Jack Daniel's twice barreled single malt finished in sherry. Oh man, Is that in this kit? No. I wish. I think someone said they were going to send me a sample of it. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm so excited for that one. Let me know how it is, Donnie. All right, so y'all ready to get into this first whiskey here? Excluding, I have not had much Colorado malts. I know there's some, but what am I missing? Wait, what did I miss? I'm sorry, Fred. I didn't mean to exclude you, but tell us your favorite malts. Oh, did you say what you were drinking? I missed it. Oh, you love Stranahan's. Oh yeah, I haven't had them, so I have no no hard or soft feelings for. I don't know what I'm saying. I have no connotation. I'd love to try it though. Steven is killing off an Eagle Rare store pick to start the night off. Nice. I think you were drinking that the other time we were hanging, right? Or you were drinking on another. I don't know if it was that pick or another pick, but good to see you, Steven. Flaviar Advent calendars tonight. Excited for that. Oh yeah, those Advent calendars. I can't keep up, especially like as a content creator. Like I feel like I'm supposed to make daily videos during December, like all the other channels do. More power to them. I can't keep up. I got a lot of other things going on, but have fun. Those of you doing it just for fun, that's awesome. I wish I was doing that. But for me, I feel like I got to make content out of everything I do. Not that I have to, but I enjoy it. Oh, Adam says the sample is coming. A couple other things to get to throw in there. Hey, man, no rush. I feel like I remember someone said they were going to send a sample. I couldn't remember who it was, but thanks, man. I'm looking forward to it. No rush, but yeah. But anyways, I'm ready to drink some whiskey. So let's take a look at our first whiskey. This is actually the first American single malt I've ever tried. I bought a sample set of this probably 3 years ago. There were 3 expressions in it. I have not tried a recent version of it. That's why I'm really excited about this distillery. Check it out.
Westland's signature American single malt whiskey is a culmination of over 10 years pioneering a new category of whiskey that has put America on the global single malt map. To produce our single malts, we adopt the same basic raw materials and processes used for generations in the old world, but we don't simply seek to replicate the results. With each expression, we endeavor to create something that both honors the traditions of distilling that we admire and adds something worthwhile at the same time. Something new and distinctly American.
All right. So, like I said, Westland was actually one of the first American single malts I've ever had. I feel like the stuff I had was some of their really early stuff. So I'm really excited to try it now that it's probably come a bit more of age. Now, I don't have an age statement on this bottle. I just know this is their American single malt. But yeah, you guys, I see a lot of comments saying you guys are fans of Westland. Or yeah. So Don, she said, "Ooh, love Westland. Westland's a goodie. Good production." Oh, the video. Yeah, I didn't make it. I trimmed them down. I didn't make them. Their sherry wood was one of my favorites. Sherry wood was definitely in the set that I had, but again, it's been a while. So Nimrock says those advent calendars that people are doing, like the Junkies, ADHD whiskey, and the average drinker, it's got to be a ton of work. Oh yeah, it absolutely is. The closest thing I've done to that is I posted a daily post on September for Bourbon Heritage Month last year. I paired a different whiskey and a different video game every day of that month. That was just a photo. Okay, that was a lot of work. I can't imagine doing a whole produced video, but more power to them. That's super awesome. Patrick said, "I missed that I can't go to Westland anymore. Let me know if you want a flight." We'll find out. Let's see how I think of it. Let's go and give it a nose. Oh yeah, it's a little familiar. Like I said, I've had it a while back ago, but this definitely has a lot more character. I remember the main one. I'm not gonna say the basic one, but because I know the sherry was my favorite of that tasting set as well. I remember not loving the original one, but this nose smells so different and so much more mature than I was expecting. There's like a hint of smokiness on it that I don't remember ever getting on Westland. I think they had a peated one, but this one I don't think it's the peated one. All right, let's go and give it a taste. Cheers. Oh wow. Oh, that's good. I guess I just threw out all those old impressions I had of the original 3 years ago because this is so much better. This has so much character. I think they've definitely refined what they've done since I tried it last time. It's fruity up front. I get fruity, but then it goes almost like a graham cracker, like a is it honey grams or the cinnamon graham? I don't know. I always go back and forth between those two. to me, it's not like a honey sweetness. It's more of like a fruity sweetness, but it does have a bit of a like, cinnamon graham cracker like on the back end. It was also my first pour of the night, so I don't know the ABV on this one. Let's see if it tells me. 46%. Okay, I was like, that can't be 80 proof starting out that hot because I kind of had a bit of a burn. But man, that flavor! Wow, I gotta drink more Westland. This is off to a great start. It doesn't taste like sometimes I worry with American single malts, right? They're a new category. I saw some of y'all in the chat saying like, oh, sometimes they don't have the age of like some Scotch whiskeys. But the American climate varies depending on where you are. And there's actually a fun clip I have coming up later in the stream where one of the people from one of these distilleries says like American single malt as a category is so diverse because it's spread out across dry climates, temperate climates, high elevation, low elevation, deserts. Like it's all over the country, which is really cool. And I'm curious to see how that affects the different styles of whiskey. We have distilleries from across the country here. So, but yeah, Washington knocking it out of the park there with the first pour. The nose is very bright. It's almost strawberry, like strawberry shortcake on the nose. Still a hint of smoke though. It's interesting. It's almost got a hint of not necessarily peat, but more of like an ashy kind of smoke. Yeah, that's something I wouldn't have expected on this, but it works really nicely with that sweet strawberry note. Smoky strawberries is not a note that I thought I would like, but there's something going on here that I really like. Coming back to it, I definitely get more of like a less of the cinnamon spice. When I said cinnamon graham cracker, it's almost leaning more towards like a plain graham cracker, but with some kind of like cookie butter, maybe like a cookie butter on top of a graham cracker. I know it's really weirdly specific, but I'm getting some of those like cookie notes as well. Man, what a great single malt. For someone that's not that experienced with the category, that's going to be one of the best intros to American single malts. I got to be honest. I mean, I haven't tried the other ones yet, but what a way to start you off with number one. I mean, it is literally sample number one in this kit. So that's really good. I got it. You know what? Who was it? Patrick said I can offer you a Westland flight. Might have to take you up on that. Have you on the channel and let's taste through them because this is really, really good. Nimrak says I always love coming back to the distillery a few months later. It's like coming home again. Good point. Good point. Drinks and chill. Westland is one of those that I've almost bought a few times. I think it's time to pull the trigger now. Well, yeah, I think so too. I think for myself as well. I'm really excited that I came back to it. Oh yeah, this is what made me want to buy sherry and peated. Yeah, for just the original. I didn't want to say basic, but the original one. What a great way to start. Bourbon is here. What's up, Bourbon? Another channel here on YouTube. Y'all make sure to go check him out. Well, we're off to a good start. We got to keep it rolling. I was a little bit late today, so let's keep it rolling. Let's go all the way across the country to another distillery. One that I've actually not on this channel. I actually did a stream with Bill over at the Whiskey Dick on his channel probably a year and a half ago. That we did this distillery. We actually had a rep on from the brand. We tried several of their expressions. We have 2 of their whiskeys tonight, and I'm really excited to revisit it comparatively to all these other American single malts. So check out our next whiskey. Like I said, this video is for the next 2, but this is the Virginia Distilling Company, or the Virginia Distillery Company out of, you guessed it, Virginia.
I'm Gareth Moore. I'm the CEO of Virginia Distillery Company, and I'd like to tell you about our story. At Virginia Distillery Company, we're continuously inspired by the rich traditions of whiskey making from around the world and the influences of our home in the New World. We use the highest quality American malted barley, which is stored on site, then milled in our traditional roller mill, and combined with our own well water to create our mash. We use hand-hammered copper pot stills and a custom spirit safe made in Scotland to distill our spirit using time-honored techniques. Guided by renowned whiskey maturation expert Dr. Jim Swan, we age in exceptional casks that allow us to add different elements to the body of the spirit. We use a combination of traditional charred oak former bourbon casks, sherry, and specialty wine casks. Each and every bottle is a culmination of the world's finest distilling techniques, aged to perfection in the ideal climate of the Virginia Blue Ridge Mountains, then expertly blended to create a premium American single malt whiskey. With the courage to create our own traditions and the conviction to remain true to ourselves and our home, Courage and Conviction sets a new standard for single malt whiskey, an American product rivaling the finest whiskeys in the world.
All right, so that was just a little overview from the Virginia Distillery Company. I love hearing their own thoughts from things. You know, I love seeing the people behind the brands and just seeing how passionate they are about their product. You can tell this guy's really proud of this whiskey. So their actual whiskey, the first one we're drinking tonight, is their American Single Malt. So that's just the name of it, but it's actually a blend of 3 different styles of single malts, basically. So part of it is aged in bourbon barrels, part of it is aged in ex-sherry barrels, and part of it is aged in cuvee wine casks. So this is a blend of all those 3 different types of casks, mixed in different proportions. They say they don't have a necessary recipe for it, but they do blend those to create this whiskey. So I'm really excited to get all those different influences from all those different types of casks. Again, we're talking about experimenting, right? That's like a really cool idea that they're not just doing like a cuvee cast. They're not just doing a sherry. They're putting it all together and seeing what they come up with. Let's go and give it a nose. Different. This one is a lot more floral. I think it's like a floral sweetness. The first one was definitely like a strawberry sweetness, but this one is lighter. There's lighter notes going on here. I feel like there's a little bit of like maybe like a citrus, like a zest, like a lemon or orange. It's leaning a little more orange zest, but it's very light on the nose. You can tell that barley is present here. It's a lot. You can tell there's a lot more grain influence on this versus where the last one I was getting a lot of the oak and I was getting a lot of the smoke. This one is a lot. I don't want to say simpler because it's very complex. It has 3 different types of cast in it, but I'll give this a taste first. Let's give it a try. Now, ABV wise, same, 46%. This does drink lighter. It also drinks a little younger. I think this one to me tastes more like what I expected an American single malt to taste like. It does. I don't know the age on this again. It is a blend, so there's not an age statement on it. But to me, it's a lot more grain forward. I think it leans more towards the brighter, not the strawberries, but more of like the tropical kind of notes on it. It's bright and light and easy to drink. I think to me, this one falls a little flat for my personal palate. Now, everyone has their own taste buds, right? Everyone tastes things differently. For me, I liked how big and like flavorful the Westland was. This one feels like a bit stripped back, a little more raw. You're getting that grain element. But yeah, I think it's a good expression. It's what I expect American single malt to taste like. So I'm curious if y'all had much experience with Courage and Conviction, because we have another one of their whiskeys I want to compare it to. Actually, I'll pour it into my second glass. It's been a minute since I've had it, but I also have with me the sherry cask. So this is actually one of the elements that make up the one that we were just drinking, but it's only sherry. So they do these limited releases. I don't know if it's a distillery only thing, but no, actually it's not. I've seen it on the shelves, but they do release the individual casks versus the blend. So let's do the sherry. And if you're curious what types of sherry, it is Oloroso sherry, Fino sherry, and PX sherry. So lots of different types of sherry that they're using for these barrels. Really curious to see how that compares because, yeah, the first one was nice and delicate, but I'm looking for something a little bolder. Ooh, yummy! That is like back in the strawberry territory. That's like a strawberry jam. That is sweet. That is desserty. Just on the nose, that is like it's like strawberry Pop-Tart, like like the filling of a strawberry Pop-Tart. Maybe a little fig Newton in that territory, a cross between a Pop-Tart and a fig Newton, if that makes sense. By the way, if you guys are just now tuning in, I'm going to be giving away one of these sample sets of all 10 samples. I'll be doing that giveaway next week, but all super chats that come in tonight go towards that, so you don't have to be here next week. But if you are, you get to enjoy the excitement of the Wheel of Whiskey, where we give it away. Just want to remind you guys, like I said, no giveaway tonight, but every entry that comes in tonight is counted towards next week's giveaway. But yeah, I think on the nose, the sherry cask is a lot more interesting. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. Whoa, I just splashed Oh well, cheers. Way darker. That's more my style. I think the regular American single malt from regular, what is the word to call it? The standard, the core American single malt. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. That one to me is a lot more approachable. This one though, if you love those sherry influences, if you are a sherry bomb lover like I am, that's going to be up your alley. That's really good. It's really dark. Definitely leans towards darker fruits the more you drink it. It started out strawberry, but it goes a bit more dark fig. I think fig is a good note. There's a bit of nuttiness on it too. It's more nutty than this one, whereas that one felt more like a, what did I say this one was more like? I don't think I even said anything. To me, it's just more light and delicate. This one is more like a dense, like nutty dessert with a jam filling. I mean, it's really dang good. I'm a big fan of sherry cask. So we get caught up in the chat here. I see the swan emojis. Is Swan here? I missed him. Joe's in the chat. What's up, Joe? Y'all check out Independent Joe's channel. He does so much fun videos. I'm behind on his videos. I need to get caught up, but another great California whiskey tuber out here. Also a big support of everyone else. Y'all gotta make sure you support Joe. And thank you so much for dropping my Patreon link. Brad says certainly more grain forward. Yeah, to me, I tend to not love the ones that are that way. I prefer them to be a lot more sherry forward and a lot more. I don't want to say more flavorful because that's not the right word, but more bold of flavors. To me, the sherry's up my alley. I think I would personally pass on the regular one from Courage and Conviction, but I do really like the sherry cask. Fig is a common note for PX and Oloroso. Good to know. Yeah, I get it a lot. It's just been a minute since I've had it. Awesome. Well, no, I'm not going to slow down here. We got 2 more whiskeys to drink. So let's go ahead and move on to our next distillery. This is one that I actually have not heard of before this stream. They are based at a distillery called Santa Fe Spirits, but the whiskey itself is called Colkegan. Not sure how to pronounce it. Let's hear from them. Let's see if they tell me how to pronounce it. But this is the guy I was thinking has a really good not theory, but a good perspective on American single malts. Check it out.
Santa Fe Spirits is a small distillery founded by me 11 years ago, based in the foothills of the New Mexico Sangre de Cristo Mountains. Whiskey is a really fascinating topic to talk about, and American single malts are definitely part of that whole category. A growing category and a very interesting one, to say the least. I think the terroir here in America really lends itself to various different regions all over the country that produce a really different flavor profile. Most of the time when you hear single malt, most people will think of Scotland. They have a variety of different flavors that come from their highland, their lowland, etc., etc. We have the same in America, just different territories that we're talking about. Obviously, it's a much bigger country. I think we have a wider range of the flavor profiles in our whiskey. I've got friends in the Northwest in a damp climate who have a very different flavor profile from my friends out in the Texas desert. Here in Santa Fe, we actually have a whiskey very unique to us. It's a mesquite smoked single malt, which I think is a very regional flavor here, barbecue-esque in its flavor profile. And we only smoke 1/3 of the grain, and 2/3 is unsmoked, regular 2-row raw barley, because we think the balance of 1/3 smoked, 2/3 unsmoked helps.
The barrels that we use play a very important part of the process of our mesquite smoked single malt. We use American oak, new American oak barrels, and once used bourbon barrels. And these create such a unique character in our whiskey. They're not 50-50. The percentage is completely different each time, and we are blending to make the most harmonious blend we can make. And sometimes that's a little bit more sweetness from those bourbon barrels, and sometimes it's a little bit more of that beautiful vanilla lift that you get from American oak barrels.
When we do all the little nuances that we do to blend it, to taste it, to flavor it, to age it, when I share that with people in the tasting, especially for the first time, to watch people's faces light up, that's the magical part of whiskey for me. It's definitely a communal thing to share with people, and I think our whiskey epitomizes a great tasting experience.
Love that video. So it's so many good points are made, not just about the fact that, the terroir of the different regions of America, but the whiskey bringing people together in community, which I think is a great thing about these tasting boxes. I mean, shoot, there's enough there to share with at least one or two other people, and you can have like a whole whiskey night out of it. I think that's one of the coolest things. So just a reminder, like I said, doing the giveaway, but I'm also have a discount code if anyone is curious about the tasting kit. You get 10% off if you use the code Bourbon Bites. Just had to throw that in there when they're talking about community, because I think it's 100% something I believe in. But first of all, I got to mention our newest Bike Club member on the channel here. I almost wore my Bike Club shirt today. It would have been perfect to wear, but I didn't. But Nemrax, thank you so much for your support, man. Hey, you get access to some fun emojis. Check them out over in the chat. Drop them. Let us see the Cliffy emojis. But also, thank you so much for supporting here on YouTube. It's such a. I need to do more with the YouTube membership. But for those of you that do continue to support month to month, I love y'all so much. Y'all are cool. Oh, you sent the swan emoji because the last person's name. I got it. I got you. I was like, where's Swan? Where's Swan? I'm looking for him. Emily says, oh, Santa Fe, they're doing really cool stuff. Well, I'm really excited because does that not sound super interesting? It's half, or like not half, but partially unsmoked barley. And the next of it is mesquite smoked barley. I'm really excited to see what that tastes like. I mean, I don't know about y'all. Have y'all tried this one? Sounds super interesting. I can't wait to give it a nose. Ooh, okay. Not as smoky as I expected. It's got a earthiness that I think I wasn't getting on the other ones. It's more of like a You know what? The earthiness is almost reading smoky, so maybe it actually is smoky. This one confuses me, but in a really, really good way. Let's give it a try. Cheers. Whoa. These are all so different. Wow. I like the little hint of smoke on the back end. This one's got to be the most interesting for sure. It starts out sweet, just like all the other ones. Goes with those lighter fruits, I think. Not quite citrus, though. It's not like citrus fruits. I'm thinking more like crisp, like either a pear or like apple. I'm not good at picking out which of those notes on a whiskey, but it has that crisp, like you're biting into like a really, I would say unripe pear or unripe apple. It's got really a lot of that tartness too, but on the back end, it's followed by a sweet or a smokiness that is definitely unlike any of these other ones. I think that must be coming from that mesquite smoked barley. It's not quite like I've had some mesquite smoked whiskey or some mesquite whiskeys that have been overwhelming. This is very light. It's very subtle. It does have smokiness, but on the back end, it doesn't overtake this whiskey. It's still delicate up front. Like I said, crisp fruit up front. Back end goes darker, smokier. I'm like, I think barbecue when I hear mesquite, right? So I like immediately thinking, oh, mesquite smoke. Does it taste like barbecue? Not necessarily. I'm not getting necessarily like barbecue smoke, but it has a nice like campfire kind of smokiness to it. Not peated, but like campfire. That's super interesting. Got a lot of mouthfeel going on. This one's thick and viscous like the Westland. I think this one, I mean, in terms of, I'll pick a favorite at the end of this, just my personal experience. This one and the Westland are pretty close because they're really different, but they have so much interesting flavors going on. And I love that they're trying to do something different. Like I said, experimenting. That's the theme tonight, right? Experimenting with these different whiskeys. I'm experimenting with trying American single malts. I'm a bourbon guy. My shirt says bourbon, but I love having a chance to try these different distilleries. My whiskey den had Santa Fe on a few times. Oh, cool. I'll have to go check out those replays. The one we tried had pine notes in it, very unique. Oh, interesting. Like gin, sort of? That's cool. Don't think I've ever had a whiskey with pine notes. I had I had a hop flavored whiskey on my Halloween episode. If y'all missed that, I tried a bunch of whiskeys I've been scared to drink, and I drank a hop flavored whiskey. That one had some pine notes to it, but not in a good way. So, but yeah, this is my jam. It's smoky, it's sweet. It's like I said, it's fruity. Yeah, I gotta try more from Santa Fe Spirits. I'm really, really impressed by this Colkegan. Colkegan, I was listening, he never said it. I was hoping he would say Colkegan or Colkegan. When I say Colkegan or Colkegan, I feel like I'm saying Hulk Hogan. I don't know what it is. But yeah, I need to get clarification on that. But they make a solid American single malt. This makes me excited for the category. All right, we got one more sample to drink tonight. This one is from a distillery that I'm very familiar with. You guys are probably very familiar with. But are you familiar with their single malts? I had one last week, but I couldn't tell you. I've not had any other ones from them. This is a beloved Texas distillery that I think a lot of us tend to enjoy. So check out this final whiskey of tonight's flight. Like I said, part 2 next week. We're doing the last 5, but we're doing our first 5 tonight. Check out the beloved Balcone. I say Balcones. What do y'all say? Let me know in the chat while this video plays. Do you say Balcones or Balcones? Because in the video, they definitely sell like Balcones. Let's just take a listen. But seriously, I say Balcones. I don't know. Never been there. Check it out.
At Balcones, we have an insatiable drive for exploration and discovery. We are constantly innovating and exploring new ways to create uncommon, dynamic flavors for our whiskeys. With that in mind, we're proud to present our Texas single malt whiskey. So one of the things that's kind of unique about our Texas One single malt in the global single malt kind of category, and also within American single malt, is we were intentionally trying to marry the traditions a little bit. So we're using very traditional Scottish yeast, obviously the Scottish barley Golden Promise that we've been using from the beginning. We've got Scottish stills. We have the mash tun that was retired from Speyburn. So and up until distillation, this is all very traditional approach to single malt production in Scotland. But then we intentionally throw it mostly into virgin oak, which is very much the American maturation tradition from rye and bourbon, but not usually how single malt's treated. And we kind of wanted that to bridge that conversation, and people that, I drink bourbon, I don't drink single malt, or vice versa. This kind of has a wood profile, the spice, tannin, and all the things that you're used to from American whiskey styles. But then the backbone of it is this very, very traditional approach to single malt. One of the cool things about using the Golden Promise that we specifically use for the Texas One single malt is a variety that has kind of gotten left behind in favor of higher yielding, just more efficient barley varieties that basically the whole impetus is just to give you more alcohol per pound, not because they taste better. And so it's an older variety that was very popular in Scotch production in the 60s through the mid 80s. And it's super flavorful. It's very similar to Maris Otter, for anyone's familiar with Maris Otter. From brewing, which is an English barley variety, this is Scottish. And also there's very little Scottish barley actually used in Scotch production, and most people think that that's probably the case, and it's very much not. Most of it's from other places. So it feels cool to connect with just the single malt history in that way.
Awesome. And by the way, he definitely did say Balcones. So I guess I'll start saying Balcones, and I feel like someone's going to judge me, like, it's Balcones. But we heard it from them. That's literally from the, I didn't see his title, but someone at the distillery said Balcones. So I guess we're going to call it Balcones from now. But first of all, got another super chat coming in. Tony Bag of Donut says, Don Nishida for the win. I don't know whose name to put down there, Tony. So, but anyways, thank you so much for the super chat. You know, Don wins sometimes. He does win sometimes. But hey, thank you so much for the support, Tony. I saw Joe drop the Patreon link, and I saw Nimrak said, thanks for dropping the Patreon link. Reminded me I need to join the club. Well, no pressure, but if you do, there are some awesome perks for Patreon. I'm also planning to do a Christmas, like just a little small Christmas gift for my patrons. So anyone at Patreon, make sure you update your mailing address on Patreon, just so I have your correct mailing address so I can get that to you. Again, don't expect anything big, but just something I wanted to do for you guys. So if it doesn't give you an option to do that, just shoot me an email with your mailing info, just so I have it on record. But again, no pressure. But yeah, Patreon's so much fun. You can support Patreon for as little as $2 a month, but the higher tiers get you access to some really fun hangouts. Our $5 tier is our monthly hangout where we do some games. We just shoot the shit, like one like Friday or Saturday night every month. And then the $10 tier is what a lot of these guys are. They are the bourbon megabytes, which is they get access to our after party hangout after every Thursday night live stream. So we do that over on my Discord server, which if you guys are not yet on the Discord server, you can find it. Actually, I realize I don't have that link at the bottom anymore for the Discord server. So what I'll do is I'll just drop this there. Everyone's welcome to join the Discord. You don't have to be a patron. It's a fun community of all whiskey loving people. So if you click that link and scroll to the bottom, there's a link to the Discord there. And then if you are a patron, it should link over your status. So you get access to our VIP lounge and our after party hangout there. So there's also higher tiers, get access to some fun things like a monthly tasting kit subscription box that I cannot clarify what's in the subscription box, but it's pretty tasty. That's one of our tiers too. Some people know what's up with that one, but yeah, just appreciate the support no matter what the level, but cheers, man. Thank you. So thank you, Donnie, for dropping that info again. But yeah, this next one, Balcones. Balcones 1. Again, never call it, it feels so wrong calling it that, but we'll go in with it. So this is a American single malt, but they're using a traditional grain that was really popular in Scotland in the 60s through 80s, which is really cool. Maybe this is a taste of what, early days of Scotch, not early days of Scotch, but Scotch of yesteryear was like. I'm really curious to see how it noses, at least. Different kind of graininess. Not quite the same grain element that I was getting on the Virginia. This one is more of like a raw wood kind of note. A little dusty, like a dusty grain. Yeah, I feel like for sure this is probably mostly aged in American used oak, from what I can think of, like used bourbon barrels. There's not much fruitiness on the nose. It definitely smells dry and grainy. Again, nothing wrong with that. But with Texas heat, you get a lot of that, right? So I'm really excited to see how this tastes. Cheers. Oh, wow. I feel like I'm saying the same thing every time, but these are all so different from each other. That one drinks like a Texas whiskey. It doesn't drink like a single malt per se. On the nose, it did smell more traditional. On the palate, that is an oak bomb. Those wood flavors are so dominant. It's toasty, like a toasted cask. It has those sweeter vanilla notes that I love about a toasted cask, but it also has that smoky, darker element. We know this about Texas, right? It makes whiskey taste a lot older than it is. And that's 100% to say about this one. It is so dark and flavorful. It's more of like a stewed kind of fruitiness. It does have some fruitiness, but it's not like a fresh, crisp fruit like the other one was giving me. It's a lot more like a baked apple pie, maybe. 100% got more cinnamon in this one. I thought I was getting cinnamon earlier, but I got cinnamon on this one for sure. I mean, this is like cinnamon, pie spice, pie crust even. Man, this is a freaking fall single malt. If you're looking for the best fall single malt, I think we might have just found it. That's really good. It's cold today too. This is perfect weather for this whiskey. Now, it's called Balcones 1. Did they say in the video what that really stood for? Was it just because they're using that one Golden Promise Scottish barley? They're also using Scottish yeast, by the way, on this. But man, that oak influence is so dominant. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna rank these before we go, but that's up there. Balcones has several good single malts. If I'm Mirador, is Mirador the one that is finished in? Aren't there two? Like there's like a sister barrel of that one. There's like the Mirador that's with the PX sherry. The other one's with Oloroso sherry. Am I misremembering? Because that sounds super familiar to me. Remind me which one Mirador is. I've heard about it, but I just forget which one it is. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I gotta rank these. So, my personal opinion, I gotta do a little back and forth. I can't rush. I still got like 8 minutes here. What am I doing rushing? All right. Gotta pour a little more of that Balcones because it's such a bold, interesting flavor. What other one was the bold flavor? I think it was the last one. The Colkegan. By the way, like, wasn't that the guy's name? Like, hold on. I'm gonna play the beginning of that video again because I think the name is a mashup of his name. Just look at his name for a sec.
Santa Fe Spirits is a small distillery found.
Colkegan. That is clever, man. That's. I mean, Colkegan sounds like a literal like, like a distillery. Like if you told me there's a distillery in Scotland, I'd believe you. Clever. All right, so I'm trying back to back the Colkegan and the Balcones. Colkegan does have that smoke, but it's definitely not as dark and rich as the Balcones. It's a lot more delicate. I like that. Yeah, these are so tough. Again, they're all different. They're all the same category of spirit with the American single malt, but they are all unique spirits. So they do their own thing. I'm biased because the Balcones, I love so much of the other products that I'm biased to lean towards that one. But again, it is just my opinion. I got my order now. So my favorite of the night actually was my biggest surprise. Let me try it again, make sure. That wasn't it. I was just clearing a glass for it. Before I announce my favorite, let me dive back in, give it another try. Okay, if these the ones that you guys have tried, what do you think would be my favorite and what's your favorite? Curious to hear. Coming back to the Westland after trying these flavor bombs, I mean, even the Balcones was 106 proof, and the Colkegan was 46%. So the first 4 were the same proof. That Balcones just blew everything out of the water though in proof. I'm a proof whore. I always say it, but I love high proof stuff. I'm a sucker to it. I'm drawn to high proof whiskey. So I think actually my favorite tonight is the Balcones Texas One. I think it's such a unique flavor profile. It is very quintessentially Texas whiskey, but it has a little bit of uniqueness from that grain. And I think that really makes all the difference here. So that was my favorite. I also have to say, as a flavor lover, the Colkegan was my second favorite. I like what they did with that mesquite smoke. It's like very subtle in the back end. It's still very bright of a single malt, but it's a beautiful whiskey. Third favorite has to go back to the Westland. Again, compared to the higher proof one at the end, it doesn't necessarily stand up to it, but to me, just as a solid American single malt, I got to go with the Westland. Fourth place of the 5 was the Virginia Distillery Company's Sherry Cask. Loved those fig darker newts, those fig nougans. But no, I love those fig notes. Dark. It's everything I love about a sherry bomb whiskey. It would be a little higher if that was what I was looking for. I was looking for more of what makes these uniquely American single malts. So that's why that's in fourth. And for me, the last place tonight, which was still a good whiskey, was the Courage and Conviction, the standard American single malt from them. I feel like it was trying to balance too many things. I think it didn't go in any real direction. And I think it was a little too, even though it was 3 different parts, it was a little too simplified for me. So that's my order. I'm curious if you guys are watching this and you had the tasting kit, what's your order? Leave a comment down below. Or if you happen to be a fan of one or all of these whiskeys, let me know which one's your favorite down below. But that was a ton of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, come back next week. We're going to do part 2. Let's just get caught up in the chat. Nimrak says, Balcones usually does, plus it has that Texas funk on it. Very good stuff in my opinion. But I'm a Texas boy, so that's a good point. I'm not from Texas, but I do love a dang good Texas whiskey. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Like I said, if you guys want to get your own tasting kit, there's a promo code, which I'll pop back up here. All the super chats that came in tonight, y'all know the drill. Y'all will be entered into the giveaway next week. I already got a record to make sure it captured all of your super chats. So Zophar, James, and Tony, y'all are in for next week's giveaway. Thank y'all all so much for watching. If you are curious, like I said, promo code down below to get your own tasting kit. I'm going to head over to the after party over on Discord, but I have a little outro video to play here real quick. Thank y'all so much for watching. It's so much fun hanging with y'all every Thursday night. Check out all the other amazing channels here in the chat. I see so many people representing. And most of all, just enjoy your whiskey. If you're doing an advent calendar, stick to it, but don't do it all at once. I've seen some channels do it all at once. Don't do that. But enjoy your month of December. I'll be back here next week. But yeah, with that, check this out.
This exciting new category encapsulates the American spirit pushing boundaries and defying expectations. Bevridge is here to help you explore the ways American single malt is making a name for itself, and to introduce you to the brands and individuals behind this charge. So get ready, it's time to set off on an adventure of taste and discovery.